Space is not silent. It is screaming. Every second, the universe bombards Earth with data. Radio waves from dying stars. Gravity waves from colliding black holes. Radiation from the Big Bang itself. It is a cacophony of noise that we have learned to filter out. We ignore the static to find the signal. But on the 14th of January 2025, the signal found us. It didn't begin with a press conference or a breaking news alert. It began as a mathematical impossibility on a server in the Chilean Andes. An object was detected dropping from the galactic plane, piercing the ceiling of our solar system at a speed that defied the laws of orbital mechanics. It wasn't circling the sun. It wasn't drifting. It was charging. In 2017, we were puzzled by Oumuamua. We called it a scout. We debated its shape, its origin, its nature. We treated it as a curiosity. But the object that arrived in 2025, designated 3I, Atlas, was not a curiosity. It was a revelation. Because this time, we didn't just look at it. We listened to what it was made of. And the answer would shatter our understanding of our place in the cosmos. The laws of physics are the ultimate authoritarian. They do not bend. Kepler's laws of planetary motion dictate that any object falling towards a star must follow a predictable curve. Gravity pulls. Velocity increases. The object slingshots around the star and departs. It is a clean, silent exchange of energy. 3I Atlas broke that law. As the object crossed the orbit of Mars, tracking stations confirmed a terrifying anomaly. It was accelerating. It wasn't just falling. It was pushing. In comets, this is common. Ice heats up, turns to gas, and jets out, acting like a natural engine. This is called outgassing. It creates a tail. It creates a coma. It is visible, messy, and loud. But 3I Atlas had no tail. Telescopes across the globe, from the VLT in Chile to Keck in Hawaii, stared into the void, searching for a sign of dust or gas. They found nothing. The object was spectroscopically dead. A dark, metallic splinter tumbling through the dark, gaining speed without a visible propulsion system. If nature wasn't pushing it, what was? The scientific consensus fractured immediately. Theories of dark hydrogen icebergs were drafted in desperation, an attempt to explain the acceleration with invisible physics. It was a comforting lie. It allowed us to believe that the universe was still predictable. But comfort is rarely the truth. On February 12th, the James Webb Space Telescope swung its golden mirrors toward the departing visitor. It was our last chance. The telescope initiated a deep-field spectral analysis, breaking down the faint infrared light reflecting off the object's surface. We were looking for rock. We were looking for ice. Instead, we found the signature of a graveyard. The spectrum didn't show silicates or iron. It showed complex hydrocarbons, tholins, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. On Earth, these are the byproducts of burning fossil fuels. They are the chemical residue of life. It was a layer of organic sludge, thick enough to absorb light, shielding whatever lay beneath. This leads to a disturbing possibility. 3I Atlas wasn't just a rock. It was a carrier. In the theory of panspermia, life is not a miracle unique to Earth. It is a contagion, a seed that drifts between star systems, waiting for a fertile rock to land on. If 3I Atlas was a seed, it was massive, and it was covered in the building blocks of biology. It passed us by. It didn't stop. But its presence forces us to ask a question we have been avoiding. If the delivery systems of life are crisscrossing the galaxy, where else have they landed? The answer, it turns out, was waiting for us on the rusty surface of our next-door neighbor. While 3I Atlas disappeared into the outer dark, a different drama was unfolding 200 million miles away. On the surface of Mars, inside the dust-choked basin of Jezero crater, the Perseverance rover was alone. It is a nuclear-powered geologist, a robot designed to do one thing: read the history written in stone. For years, it had wandered a desolate wasteland, finding only basalt and dust. Until July 2025, the rover approached a vein of rock nicknamed Cheyava Falls. To the untrained eye, it was just another red rock. But to the sensors of the Sherlock instrument, it was a crime scene. The scan revealed a pattern that shouldn't exist in a sterile world: leopard spots. Millimeter-sized splotches of white calcium sulfate, rimmed with a black ring of iron phosphate. Context is everything. On Earth, these spots are not formed by wind. They are not formed by volcanoes. They are formed by eating. They are the chemical scars left behind by ancient microbes living inside the rock, consuming iron for energy and excreting waste. They are metabolic footprints. The implications are staggering. For months, simulations were run to find an abiotic explanation. Could high-temperature fluids create the black rims? Could radiation decay mimic the pattern? One by one, the non-biological explanations were ruled out. The chemistry was too specific. The arrangement was too orderly. The conclusion is becoming inescapable. Mars was alive 3 billion years ago, while Earth was just waking up. Mars was likely a blue marble. It had rivers. It had an atmosphere. And deep within its rocks, life was thriving. This gives birth to the second Genesis theory. If life started twice, independently, in a single solar system, then life is not a mistake. It is a standard feature of the universe. It is as common as gravity. It means that right now, the galaxy is teeming with biological potential. But this discovery brings with it a darker realization. Look at Mars today. It is a frozen, irradiated desert. The atmosphere is gone. The water is gone. The life that made those spots is turned to stone. If Mars is a testament to the ubiquity of life, it is also a monument to its fragility. It is a reminder that planets die, biospheres collapse. And as we celebrated the discovery of our dead neighbors, we failed to notice that the rules of the universe were breaking down in a different direction. Not in the future, but in the distant past. While biology was rewriting the present, cosmology was about to shatter the history of time itself. If the discovery on Mars challenged our understanding of biology, what the James Webb Space Telescope found in the deep vacuum challenged the very architecture of reality. A telescope is a time machine. Light takes time to travel. When we look at the sun, we see it as it was 8 minutes ago. When we look at the edge of the universe, we see it as it was 13 billion years ago. We look back to see the beginning, to see the nursery where the first galaxies were born. According to the standard model of cosmology, the rulebook we have used for a century, the early universe should be a quiet place. Small, messy clouds of gas slowly clumping together. A chaotic but gentle dawn. But in 2025, the telescope looked back, and it didn't see a nursery. It saw a kingdom of giants. The data stream revealed hundreds of objects at high redshift, points in time just 500 million years after the Big Bang. They appear on the sensors as innocent little red dots. But when the mass spectrometry was calculated, the innocence evaporated. These were not forming galaxies. They were fully realized titans. Massive, bright, impossible. Imagine walking into a kindergarten and finding a newborn baby that weighs as much as a tank, fully grown, standing 6 feet tall. It defies the laws of growth. There simply wasn't enough time in the early universe for gravity to pull that much matter together. The math breaks. The timeline snaps. So, what are they? The answer lies in the center of these red dots. The spectral lines indicate the presence of supermassive black holes. Not just regular black holes, but monsters millions of times the mass of our Sun. In the modern universe, black holes grow slowly. They eat gas. They merge. It takes eons. But these monsters existed when the universe was in its infancy. This forces us to confront a terrifying hypothesis: direct collapse. The theory suggests that in the dark ages of the cosmos, entire clouds of primordial gas didn't cool down to form stars. Instead, under the weight of their own gravity, they collapsed instantly, directly into a singularity, a hole in reality, born from the raw stuff of creation. This changes the story of our origins. We used to believe that galaxies formed first, and black holes formed later, like a disease appearing in a healthy body. Now, the evidence suggests the opposite. The black holes were there first. They are the anchors, the seeds, our galaxy, our Sun, our Earth. We are simply debris caught in the gravitational web of an ancient monster that has been feeding since the dawn of time. The universe we thought we knew, ordered, slow, predictable, is a lie. The early universe was violent, crowded, and efficient. In 2025, the Standard Model didn't just crack. It shattered. We are living in a cosmos that is far older, or far stranger, than we ever dared to imagine. Fear, confusion. Oh, 2025 brought us visitors from the stars and monsters from the past. It made us feel small. It made us feel vulnerable. But just before the year ended, the universe offered an olive branch, a reason to look up, not with fear, but with longing. While the James Webb telescope was staring at the edge of time, the spectrometers in Switzerland were focused on our backyard. Specifically, a red dwarf star known as Gliese 251, located just 18 light-years away. In cosmic terms, that is not a distance. It is a stone's throw. It is right next door. We have known about the star for decades. But hidden in the glare, masked by the violence of stellar flares, was a shadow, a planet. GJ 251c. Exoplanets are common. We have found thousands of hot Jupiters and frozen wastelands. But GJ 251c is different. The orbital data confirms it is rocky. It is 1.5 times the size of Earth, a super-Earth. But rock is not enough. Mercury is rock, and it is a hellscape. Mars is rock, and it is a grave. What matters is the air. In late 2025, a combined analysis of transit data detected the absorption of light through the planet's atmosphere. The specific wavelengths of light that were missing told a story that humanity has been waiting to hear for 10,000 years. It wasn't carbon monoxide. It wasn't sulfur. It was water vapor and methane. Methane is unstable. On a planet with an oxygen-rich atmosphere, methane breaks down quickly, unless something is replenishing it. Volcanoes can do it, but biological life does it better. The profile of GJ 251c is the closest analog to Earth we have ever found. It sits in the habitable zone. It has a shield of air. It has water. For the first time, we are not looking at a dot on a graph and guessing. We are looking at a world with oceans, a world with weather, a world where, perhaps, at this very moment, something is looking back at our sun, wondering if it is alone. The discovery shifts the paradigm. We are no longer asking if, we are asking when. 18 light-years is far. Our fastest probes would take thousands of years to reach it. But the destination is now confirmed. The target is locked. The era of blind searching is over. The era of interstellar engineering has begun than we ever dared to imagine. 2025 will be remembered as the year the silence ended. In 12 short months, the universe stripped away our illusions of solitude. We learned from 3I Atlas that the galaxy is a carrier, transporting the seeds of biology across the void, suggesting that life is a contagion, not a miracle. We learned from Mars and the ghost of Cheyava Falls that we are not the first experiment in this solar system. We are simply the survivors of a twin genesis. We learned from the primordial black holes that the cosmos is built on the backs of monsters, older and more violent than our physics can explain. And we learned from GJ 251c that there is a home waiting for us, if we can summon the courage to cross the dark. For centuries, we have looked up at the night sky and seen it as a static backdrop. A painting. That painting is gone. It has been replaced by a mirror. We are part of a dynamic, dangerous, and thriving ecosystem. We are not special because we are alone. We are special because we are awake. The universe has finally spoken. The question is no longer, is anyone out there? The question is, are we ready to meet them? This was the story of 2025. But the story of 2026 is yet to be written. If you want to keep watching the skies with us, verify your subscription below. Because the only thing scarier than what we found is what we missed. It sits in the habitable zone. It has a shield of air. It has water. For the first time, we are not looking at a dot on a graph and guessing. We are looking at a world with oceans, a world with weather, a world where, perhaps, at this very moment, something is looking back at our sun, wondering if it is alone. The discovery shifts the paradigm. We are no longer asking if, we are asking when. 18 light-years is far. Our fastest probes would take thousands of years to reach it. But the destination is now confirmed. The target is locked. The era of blind searching is over. The era of interstellar engineering has begun than we ever dared to imagine.